The Oakland Raiders are undefeated. Good night, No, I'm kidding. The Raiders won 16-10 preseason opener tonight here at the Coliseum. Iffy performance. I mean, the takeaways, you can never take anything too seriously from a preseason opener. But I want to start with Connor Cook. We were talking about it earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders keep only 2 quarterbacks. Cook has established himself, and he did so again tonight as the number 2 guy. E.J. Manuel was obviously that guy last year. In the worst-case scenario for this team that Derek Carr goes down, that wouldn't be the worst case if they had the Cook of tonight. What do you think of his play tonight?
Yeah, I liked what we saw from Cook. John Gruden's always been a big Cook guy, and so it's not that surprising that we saw him look very poised in this system. He gave us a better hint of what the Raiders are going to do in 2018 than anything Derek Carr did tonight. The big thing that I took away from this game, while Connor Cook played great, he's going up against second, third, fourth string guys. I didn't think E.J. Manuel played all that well, but E.J. Manuel didn't play all that well last preseason. He still got the job. What I took away from this game was the amount of zone blocking, and I know that's a little bit inside football, but the Raiders zone blocked on damn near every single snap, and if that's the case, I have a very hard time seeing how perennial Pro Bowl left tackle Donald Penn gets back into this lineup. It seems like they're locked in with Colton Miller, the 15th overall pick. Donald Penn is not a zone blocker. We saw that last year when the Raiders' offense kind of fell off a cliff. And now if they're going to be running zone every time, they're going to probably have a rookie starting left tackle at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, one of the biggest plays of the night that didn't count, Marshawn Lynch's 60-yard touchdown run, came back because of a Colton Miller hold. John Gruden said after the game he wholeheartedly disagreed with that call, kind of had his rookie left tackles back, said it kind of soured his day, only a couple plays into his return here to the Coliseum, but I agree with you. As we get further into the preseason and Donald Penn still doesn't practice and Colton Miller continues to get it, sure, he had the penalty, but, you know, other than that, he looks the part, he's moving well, they like what he's doing. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, obviously the Raiders asked him to take a pay cut. We'll see if that happens, but Donald Penn's reps are watching Colton Miller very closely to see how much leverage they can get with that pay cut scenario. But also, you know, preseason's not about Amari Cooper, Derek Carr, who's shining. It's about the guys who are fighting to make the roster. One of those guys is Chris Warren, the running back, undrafted guy out of Texas. Ran 13 times for 86 yards. He's a big bulldozing kind of guy, 6'2", in the 250s. But he said tonight he thinks his breakaway speed is an underrated part of his game. What do you see from him tonight?
I liked him. I mean, this is the thing. This is a guy who it's hard to tell in the preseason. Sometimes you just have running backs that go out there and just take 15 carries for the team because you don't want to get the guys who are actually going to make the 53-man roster. Don't put them in situations to get hurt. I do think that Warren has a chance. The Raiders' running back situation is completely in flux. We don't know if Marshawn Lynch is going to be a bell cow guy or not, but outside of Doug Martin, that third running back spot is wide open, and there's no reason that it can't be Chris Warren. He did a lot to prove that he should be on the 53-man tonight. There's 3 more of these games left. They don't cut down until after the 4th preseason game now. A lot of time, but he might have a leg up on some guys right now.
Yeah, and in other rookie news, P.J. Hall, strong start. 1 sack. He wasn't really known for sacks in college. You know, he's a smaller guy in stature, blocked, I think, 14 kicks at Sam Houston State. Raiders used a second-round pick on him, had a 3rd down sack, lost 9 yards. Then he deflected a pass on 2nd and 20 later on in the first quarter. So really strong start for P.J. Hall. Nick Nelson had a nice day. He got a lot of run, the 4th rounder who's really getting his feet under him. Spent the first part of the offseason not playing, recovering from a meniscus injury. Anyone else that stand out to you?
No, Nick Nelson was the guy that really blew me away tonight. I thought he was fantastic.
Eddie Pinheiro
had a nice job too. A lot of good rookies. And that's a positive thing. I mean, this rookie class, I was one of the first guys to malign it. Now, one game isn't going to change my mind, especially one game in the preseason, but if John Gruden was able to get a couple of guys, and I think Arden Key has a chance to make a big impact for this team. He didn't play tonight. They have some players that can make an impact in year 1. That's a big deal. It's preseason. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I liked what we saw from the rookies. Ultimately, this is a pretty intriguing team altogether. No one got injured, nothing like that. It's about as good of a preseason game as you can have.
Yeah, I think Arden Key is the best rookie they have. So he'll get back on the field soon. John Gruden said just a little bit of an ankle tweak for him, should have him back next Saturday against the Rams. In other injury news, Garyon Conley dressed and warmed up with the DBs tonight, didn't play, but John Gruden said he's hopeful he can practice on Monday. Brandon Parker didn't play. He tweeted before the game he'll play next week. Nicholas Morrow didn't play. Obi Melifonwu didn't play, and a couple other guys. Marcus Gilchrist didn't play. He's in line to be a starter. So that's all we've got for you from here. Encouraging preseason opener if you're the Raiders. Obviously, a lot more to come. Obviously, like I said, nothing can be taken too seriously here, especially next week when they're playing a team that they play in week 1. So they're not going to show anything in that game. But we'll show you our coverage all throughout the week, mercurynews.com, leading up to next Saturday and the preseason games after that. So for Dieter Kurtenbach, I'm Matt Schneidman. Have a great night.